Hey class, welcome back to Chapter 1 Financial Mathematics. Today we'll be looking at Exercise 1D, working with simple interest. So from our previous lessons, simple interest was that fixed amount of money that you earned on an investment or paid on a loan that is determined as a percentage of the original amount either invested or borrowed. Okay. Also, it is determined on the amount of time that you are investing or borrowing that amount for. So the simple interest formula is given again on the screen, I equals PRT. And without further ado, we'll jump straight into a couple of examples. The first one is, how long would you need to invest $4,700 at 3.2% per annum to have a total of $5,602.40, which is awfully specific, but that's fine. So as we did in our previous exercise, what we'll do is we'll underline or highlight each of the numbers and match them up to the letters or the values in the simple interest formula, and then we'll work backwards and solve. So we would need to invest. This amount is our principal. At this amount is our rate. We are being asked how long something needs to be invested for. So we're going to solve for time this time instead of the interest. And this figure here is what we're going to use to calculate our interest. Now, here's where so many students often go wrong. They assume that this amount here, the total of, is the amount that they have earned as interest. And that's a lot of interest. Like, to more than double your principal, you'd be investing this amount of money at an interest rate as low as 3.2% for a very, very, very long time. So to calculate our interest, we need to, and actually it might help if I label this as the letter that it actually is before going into that calculation. This value of $5,602.40 is what we call A, our total amount, okay? Total amount. Okay, so to calculate our interest now, because we can't solve an equation if there's two unknowns, we need to have only one thing that's unknown to solve it. I equals A minus P. Or, in this case, $5,602.40 minus that $4,700 that we initially invested. And that gives us a total interest value of, and of course you can solve this on your calculator, $902.40. So now we have I, we know what P and R are from the question, we can now solve back for T. So we'll substitute into the formula, $902.40 equals 4,700 times 3.2, we're remembering to put the percentage symbol in our calculators to take that cheat, multiplied by time. You can simplify all of this if you would like. I'm going to do that step. So we get $902.40 equals, and just this bit here, 4,700 times 3.2% is $150.40 times T. And of course, we want to get T on its own. So working with our knowledge of algebra from last few exercises or chapters that we've worked through, we're going to divide both sides by $150.40 to get our value of time as T equals 6 years. If you have a CAS calculator, you can use what's called the solve function on these. I will go through that in the next example. Well, at the end of the next example. So this time we have a loan of $14,500. So this amount here is going to be our principal. That's the amount that we are borrowing. And it's taken out over 48 months. You need to be careful with this, and I'll talk about that in a second. The amount of simple interest charged on the loan is $4,640. So now we have I. What is the annual interest rate applied to the loan? So we're looking for the annual interest rate. R is our question mark. However, we are looking at an annual interest rate. Our time is given in months, so we need to convert 48 months to years. And to do that, we're going to divide by how many months there are in a year, and there are 12, to get 4 years. Okay? we can now substitute those values directly into the formula. So I equals 4,640. That equals the principal, 14,500, times, we don't know what our rate is, so we'll leave the letter R in there. And our time we've determined is 4 years. Of course, you could literally type in 48 divided by 12, which I'm going to write into this question because sometimes you get weird thirds or 5 out of 12, and those aren't always very nice decimals. So you can type this directly into your calculator and you will get a more exact answer. I have a number of students that like to have rounding errors because they will use 0.66 or 0.67 when they should just use 8 divided by 12, for example. Of course, like I did in the previous example, I'm going to simplify this 14,500 times the 48 and then divided by 12. And that gives us $58,000 times R. Okay, and of course, to get R on its own, we need to divide both sides by that 58,000. Therefore, cancelling out the 58,000 in front of the R to get R on its own. And we get R equals 0.08, which if we then multiply that by 100, we get 8% per annum. I like to put the little per annum next to it. That's totally up to you. Okay, and remember, all we need to do to convert from a decimal to a percentage is multiply by 100. Now, for those of you with a CAS calculator, I'm about to make your life super duper easy. Without even rearranging, you would just need to substitute, and you will literally type in solve, bracket, 4,640 equals 14,500 times R times 48 divided by 12, comma, R, and then close the bracket, hit enter. That will jump straight to this answer here. It will spit this answer out for you, R equals 0.08. So you can skip the step where you simplified this bit and then divided by both sides to then solve, and you would end up straight away with the answer of 0.08, which you then must convert, of course, to a percentage. Please be careful of that. But your CAS calculator can solve algebraic expressions for you, and all you need to do is type in the line that I've just written in red. Okay, and that's for the CAS. As always, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch, but otherwise I will speak to you all very soon, and good luck with the work.